bad, yeah.
Screen numbers flash like a fever dream, charts align like stars in space, fingers twitch, it's a digital race. Trade the dots, connect the line, profits calling, it's my time. Precision moves, shopping clean, living life on this money machine. Machine.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right. Excellent. 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 Chris. No, Chris. Actually, just email me. Email me a note, and I'll send you the latest zip file on MT5. Okay, no problem. Jedi Master. We trade. We scalp. We trade NASDAQ and gold. That's what we do. You're going to be able to see how we trade with our indicator, and just follow along and enjoy the show, and see how much you like it. If you're interested in scalping, trading, passing prop accounts, trading futures, we're the place. If not, then we're not the place. Okay, so that's what we're doing here. That's right. The motto is F-bombs and great trades. That's what we do. We do F-bombs and great trades. So guys, first order of business for everybody who's a part of my coaching, who's got the indicator in place, a couple of updates on the indicator that I think you guys are going to like. The latest coaching video has been sent out, and we talk a lot about we kind of went through a very soul-searching process of how we create volatility filters on the indicator, and you can see them actually working in real time right now. So, for example, one of the things you see here, this is the gold chart over here. Let me go full swing, and you see that the range, once it exceeds $6 per hour or 60 ticks per hour, it starts flashing an orange sign telling you that it's a pretty high volatility condition. And within that condition, you should be using $2 target, $6 stops instead of $1 target, $3 stops. In other words, your stops and targets expand as the range goes orange. Okay. In addition to which, there's a setting there that turns the range red. Red is when you don't want to trade at all. When the range is so flat, when the price action is so dead, like at $3 or less, that it's just not worth trading at all. And you have the same, you have parameters that you can set for NASDAQ as well as gold. So that's one very important, very useful volatility parameter that gives you color-coded signals right away. The other thing that we have that we added in here, this was a suggestion of Ollie. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's in gold. This because it's not. It obviously wasn't a lot of volatility in NASDAQ, but I think in gold, I have an example of this. Yeah, here's the example. So the other very important kind of a volatility notice is when the label turns orange. What that tells you is that it's exceeded the length of the candle is so large they need to be mindful of it. Because remember, the idea here is if the high of the candle is not broken on a short, it's really not it's not a legitimate stop. But what this tells you is like, hey, in order to put a stop on this legitimately, you're going to need greater than a $6 stop. So maybe you just want to pass up this trade. Or if you're going to trade this trade, maybe you want to trade it with half size because your stop has got to be larger than your original size. So you have this option of trading smaller size, larger stop, larger target, or just simply passing it up because this is exceeding reasonable parameters, reasonable stop parameters that you want to put down on the thing. And obviously, we're probably going to see this in NASDAQ as well. In NASDAQ, I think the setting that I have in here and these settings are all obviously exposed to the user. But what you go is the Christmas tree label setting. I think tick threshold here was if the candle itself is larger than 30, that exceeds our, no, sorry, that's in ticks, right? So they shouldn't be 30. That should be 120. 120. Sorry, it should be 120 on the candle. So if the candle is 120, which is 30 points, if that candle is that large, maybe we want to pass up on the trade. Okay. Today it's a relatively quiet day with little volatility movement. So we'll see what happens. But this really gives you some very, very valuable on the spot data that you could right away see, this is a really, really big move. I need to get much smaller with larger stops and targets if I want to have a reasonable chance of winning this trade, right? If I want to avoid, basically the whole idea is here, how do I avoid unnecessary stops? We can't avoid stops where we're just simply wrong on the market, right? But what we want to try and do is minimize unnecessary stops where we're ultimately correct on direction, but the market simply takes us out because the volatility is too high. And this helps you really, really see all of the volatility parameters. So I think this is kind of like the final build. We're going to take all of this code and then give it to Wealth Charts, have them rebuild the Wealth Charts code. And then all of you guys on Wealth Charts are going to have the table, the volatility filters, the little labels, all of that nicely done there as well. So all of that is really useful and fun to do. But then I had this other thought that I kind of wanted to, it's Ask Me Anything Friday. We're chilling. Generally, we don't really do a public trading on Fridays, but this week has been kind of crazy, and I thought it was worthwhile for us to hang out and do this. Hang tight a second. I'm sorry, guys. Just got to check something on my phone. Sorry, just 1 sec. Oh, okay. No problem. Anyways, the other thing that I wanted to show you, sorry, let me just do this. Or the other thing that I kind of wanted to talk to you about is gold looking good this morning. Yeah, gold's starting to look really, really bid nicely. Oh, I know the other thing I want to show you before I actually talk about the other big thing is this. Do I have an alert on the indicator too? Yes, I do. You can the alerts are all over here. You can create. Hang on a second. Sorry, you got to hit the three dots, add alert, and all the alerts are built in. These are all the alerts that are built in that you can use. Okay, so I'm actually going to have to probably rewrite the alert names, but they're all built in there. The alerts are kind of useless for what we do because it's a 2-minute time frame. So you really want to be watching the chart and watching the price action. But if you want to use this for like a much longer, like hourly chart or longer term time chart, yes, absolutely, you can use alerts on that as well. Okay, I'm just looking at all your questions here. So the other thing that I kind of wanted to share with you is, remember, I keep talking about the idea that both gold and NASDAQ are secularly bullish markets. We should be making 2 long trades for every short trade as kind of a shorthand. But then I had this other really interesting insight into when we should be doing short trades, right? Let's assume we always want to be doing long trade. We get a long signal, we always want to be doing it. That's generally a good advice, but of course, in a shitty little, like, the market is selling off and you get weak rallies, you're going to get clipped a little bit on the long side. But basically, if you can't be perfect, you have to make the assumption that the general direction is always going to be up, so the general probability is going to be much higher to the long side. But then the other thing that is interesting, if you look, especially like, let's say, look at the gold chart, right? Is I had this really interesting insight. It's worth thinking about, which is, when do you do the short trade, right? When do you do the short trade? And here's a filter for all of you guys to consider that I think is really valuable. Ask yourself the following question. Let's say you're getting a short signal over here, Christmas signal, right? Ask yourself the following question. Was the prior short signal good or bad? Was the prior short signal, did it hit target, or did it stop itself out? And what you'll see, if the answer is no, it stopped itself out. In other words, and the way I would define it as a structure is the following. I consider it a failure if the price goes above, let's say, the purple dot, right? The purple dot of the prior Christmas signal, and before it hits target. In this case, it really doesn't go down a lot to hit target, and it kind of takes it out. So I would consider this to be a failure, which means that I do not, even if I get a signal here, I don't take it. On the other hand, here's a signal coming up. Ask yourself, did the price ever take out the purple dot before coming down? The answer is no. If the answer is no, then legitimately I take this signal. Now, this was a tough trade, but it actually traded well, because even if you traded this with a $3 stop and a $1 target, you survived the stop. It was an 84 or 85 to 87 sweep, and then eventually dropped down. Then you ask yourself a question. Okay, I'm short over here. Did this trade trigger the purple? It did not. It just barely missed the purple. So okay, I'll take this, and boom, that trade works. So a very, very good way, to kind of organically use our indicator is ask yourself, was the prior short successful? In which case I'll take it. And if it wasn't, I'm going to pass up on it. I'm going to be a lot more discriminating against the shorts than I'll be against the longs, right? And here's a couple of good examples. So in this particular case, I took this short because it barely actually made target, and this was correct. That this short worked. But if you traded, if you were looking at this position, you would have said, no, this short failed. I'm not taking this trade. I'm not taking this trade. I'm not taking the short trade, right? So if you looked at this trade, you would have also not taken it because it also failed. So using the prior short as the final determinant of whether you want to do it, do the trade or not, is a really interesting filter for how you want to be doing the short trades. It doesn't mean it's always going to work. Doesn't mean that you could have taken the trade and made money out of it. None of that is a axiomatic. What's very, very true is a probabilistically over, let's say, a 10 or 20 or 30 trade sample, you're probably going to be much better off doing it this way than the other way, until the markets become bearish. For now, this is what I'm saying. You operate within a bullish environment by really being skeptical of shorts, by saying, well, prove it to me. Prove to me that that the sellers really have control. Whereas you're going to be a lot less, you're going to be a lot more promiscuous in your decision-making process on the longs, for the time being. And that's I thought it was an interesting insight. You guys let me know what you think about that. I thought it was kind of cool to kind of analyze, in that direction. And then the final thing, which I really want to do next week, I think we're going to do a couple of these things. I want to do what I call market on close sessions, where we'll do like maybe 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, starting 3:30 p.m. U.S. time, to try to clip one good trade. And this is where I think so many of you guys who are listening, or maybe who you have friends, and by the way, if you have friends and family, anybody else who wants to come in and come hang out with us, I'll bring them in. Because what we do is pretty time intensive. You got to watch the charts, you got to scalp, you got to have fun. And people who do this love doing it, but also, you have a little bit of time to be able to do this, right? But what about if you just had half an hour to 45 minutes each day, and that's all you had to make one clean, clear, sniper-like trade? And that's what we're going to do in terms of using the Christmas tree setup for the market on close structure, which is, Gloria likes that, which does two things. You can do it with size, and reasonable size. But let's say you do it with a 200 target, 600 stop, right? On a $50,000 account, that you would have to have 5 losers in a row to get blown out, because you just do one trade in a day. But imagine the following scenario. You do one trade in a day, and out of 20 trading days, you have only 1 or 2 losing hits. You are very cleanly and clearly on your way to payout or to funding with just doing one trade a day. And that's very possible when you use the market on close structure to try to find that one clean trade. By the way, it doesn't have to be market on close too. We can also do the other variant of this. It's just sort of like, how do I pick one shot, one kill, one profit? We can also do the same thing, and I'll try and do this with you guys today. I want to do the first clean Christmas tree setup after 10 o'clock with trend. So in other words, I want the clean trend-based buy or sell, and just do that one shot and get it done, and then walk away. I see a lot of people really like that whole idea that of doing one trade a day, because people really kind of value time. I mean, we're all degenerates here. We all love to trade forever. If we could trade 24 hours a day, we all would. But just having that kind of focus, I think, is really, really interesting. And the point is that we have such high accuracy. We're, on a bad day, we're like at 80. On a good day, we're at 85 to 87%, which means we have sniper-like accuracy. And if we just simply distill that accuracy to the highest probability corridor of time, we should be able to do this well, right? It would not work on the open. The open is always the worst thing to do. What I would consider the open, the real open, is after 10 o'clock. I'll show you, let's take a look at yesterday's price action on NASDAQ, right? So, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, Thursday. Okay. So here we go. So here's the open, right? And where we want to look at is after 10 o'clock. So this would be, this is the 10 o'clock line, sort of like, 10 line, 10 o'clock line, right? As I said, what I want to do is I want to look at the first clean signal with trend. Obviously, trend is positive, clean signal. You're long here, 2 minis, boom, you're done. 2 minis. No, not even 2 minis. I think you can do, if you do 1 mini with a 1030, one mini with a 1030. So 10 point up, 30 points down, boom, you're done one trade. It's like 5 minutes and you're gone. You don't have to worry about anything else, right? Then just to kind of look on market on close. On market on close, where are we on market on close? Market on close actually yesterday was horrible, horrible. And this was an example where it did not work because there was literally no direct. Yesterday was one of the worst trading afternoons I've seen in a long, long time. So this is, by the way, where the volatility filter comes in. This is actually a really, really great example where our volatility filter can come in. Because let me show you. I'm going to go to replay. Look what happens. Only 20 points of price action, right? When you're at 20 points of price action in range, you shouldn't even bother. As a matter of fact, you could even create like a market on close filter where you could say, let me show you how this would work. You would go over here into the range row settings, and you would say, what's the minimum threshold in ticks that I need to see in order to for me to get interested? And let's say you say to yourself 30 points, which is 120 ticks, right? You say this over here, and you see how this thing turns red? That means you don't have any reason to do a market on close trade. You have to have at least 30 points of rage to actually really create this kind of a one shot, one kill thing. This is where I didn't realize this, but this is where the range filter can come in. It's so useful to us in time. So that's the fun part. So Jedi, I would say, we get a lot of these kind of requests. I want to trade, supplement my income, stuff like that. And I can't stress enough how important, if you want to do something like this, is to never trade your own money, right? Like the path to failure is almost 100% guaranteed with you trading your own money, which is why, like, if you really want to do something like this, the single best way of doing this is, of course, with our partner Apex, which allows you to essentially trade like we do, hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of dollars for literally $20, $30 at a pop, right? The $50,000 account now is $33. If you pass it, you then are able to trade $50,000 of actual notional value that you can then try to make money on and get paid out on. Like, I love this idea. I haven't even thought about this, but thank you for bringing this up, Jedi, that there are so many people who are in retirement who are either bored or want to supplement their income or want to do something. Like, it is so much more intelligent to supplement your income via a prop trading account than it is to trading your own account, right? Anybody else? Anybody else an old fogey who's in retirement who kind of agrees with me on this? I'm actually curious. Like, this is actually a great question. This is like this is a great Friday question for the weekend. Great question. Let's do this. I'm going to do a poll. If in retirement, now the question should be, is prop a good complement to retirement? Agree or disagree? Oh, Jesus Christ, I cannot fucking type. Good complement to retirement. Jesus fuck me Christ. Okay, let me know. Jim cracks me up. Jim, you gotta clap for the line of the day. That's funny. Wow, holy shit! I had no idea so many of you guys actually are doing this. Wow. And I thought you were all just degenerate gamblers having a good time with me. Wow, look at that. That's really funny. Wow. No, that's really great. I had no idea. That's awesome. That's really, really awesome. Hamim, you live in Sydney, 14 hours ahead of New York. What's your question? You trading 11:30 to 1 p.m. So I would be grateful if you please advise how best your strategy can be used in Sydney. Drink a lot of coffee, my friend. No, I mean, you could actually, Hamim, you could trade my strategy in Asia, which would be like your morning open. I mean, the best times to trade, honestly, is now. So, you certainly get the best liquidity at this point right now. But and by the way, we're kind of we're on pause because it's 5 minutes to market open till about 9:35. We're not going to do any trades. But if something pops, once it pops up, then we're going to start doing it. Today, I really want to do this one thing. Let's do the after 10 o'clock New York in trend best signal. Let's see if we can hit it. Maybe gold, maybe NASDAQ. Let's do that one and done kind of practice, see how well it works. No, Apex is a monthly subscription, but here's the cool part. Once you pass the evaluation, there's only a one-time lifetime fee. There's no additional fees, and then you can have the account for the rest of your life. If you were with us yesterday, you saw how we passed the evaluation on one trade. It's a really, really fun and relatively clean way of doing it. It's not the way you want to trade your funded account, but it's certainly viable as a strategy. You can definitely do it. Wasil passed 8 of them yesterday. What's the recommended? Sorry, Ali. What's the recommended limit on range on NASDAQ and gold? Is there a max limit? No, I don't know. No, I don't think so. Because remember, Ali, the max limit doesn't come from, you want fucking huge range. I want a 1,000,000 range because what that means is that price action is going to fly, right? That means momentum is going to work. The filter comes on the candle itself. The orange label on the Christmas label, that's your filter for like, whoa, maybe this is too big a trade for me right now. Because it goes from global to local, and you're trading on the local. The global just gives you the background. So yeah, I want as much fucking range as possible. Yeah. Well, Apex Trader, our partner, has paid out $500 million, so I don't think you have a problem there. Psychological question, you advocate having multiple accounts. Do you ever use copy trade to trade multiple accounts at once, or do you always trade? I trade one account at a time precisely for that reason, because multiple accounts is just I know the pitch is that you have multiple accounts, you have multiple profit streams, but the truth is that you have multiple loss streams. You just multiply your losses much more than you multiply your wins. Remember, it's a tough game, right? You're mostly going to lose. And if you multiply your losses, you just blow up. I mean, I love, the idea of trade copy, and maybe we'll do trade copy on a couple of accounts down the road. But until everybody's really, really good at just getting to the payout stage on the funded stuff, I think it's, and I would love, I would like you guys to get 20 accounts and copy trade them and do all that shit, because that's great for volume for my partner, but it's not really good technique. And I want you guys to trade for life, not just for a day. So the answer is kind of no. So the gold orange, again, and this is, Keith, a personal function. For me, the gold is, if I go to the gold stuff here, I'll show you. I mean, if you want me to show you, I'll show you, because we have time. So on the gold stuff, first of all, the actual label, the Christmas tree label, 60 ticks. That's the threshold. If it goes 60 ticks or more, I want it to turn orange. And then as far as the range structure, right? Minimum range, which means if it's less than 30, I want it to be red. I don't want it to be trading. And if it's more than 60, then I want to start thinking about doing 2.6 instead of 1.3. So 60 meaning $6. So those are the ranges that I have. And right now it's a $13. It's a 13-point range. So for sure you want to be trading this with a $2 target, $6 stop, right? Ryan, those are only available with our special link. So I'm going to send the link again over here. If you use our link, you get the absolute highest. Oh, fuck, come on. Having some internet issues here. Okay, if you use our link, which I just posted, I think as a matter of fact, I'm gonna pin that link to chat so you guys can all use it. If you use that, whoa, guys, I got to tell you, the prop good complement to retirement is the single biggest skew in polls we've ever done, 98-2. I love it. Wow. That was, I really had no idea so many of you guys were doing this. That's so interesting. So cool. So interesting. Sorry. So anyways, so I was saying, yes, if you use that link, you're going to get $33 for, especially if you use our friends at Wealth Charts, they're a little bit cheaper. If you choose the Wealth Charts option versus the Trade Evade option, they're $5 cheaper, and you can buy that account all day long, any day. Okay, so make sure you do that right, because those discounts always go away. You shouldn't lock them in while you can. We will play with that. It's there's no we're going to work out those rules as we start trading. I don't want to get into too many rules during the public stream. Those are like coaching questions, so we'll deal with them when coaching comes in. 9:30 market open. We have a red Christmas tree trade on gold. Pump and dump on NAS. Let's see what happens. We're going to give ourselves 2-3 minutes of stuff. If you guys want to, maybe we'll play the gold open a little bit here and give that a shot. But as far as NASDAQ goes, we're gonna wait a little bit, because gold, NASDAQ is always a whippy thing on the open. Gold is a little bit more directional. Still got a minute 3 to go on the open, so this trade may not hold. We'll see if it holds. No, dude, we're trading. We only look at what we're doing, my friend. What am I trading? I'm trading NQ and GC only. We don't even trade any other futures, because we just want to keep our focus. Look at this pump and dump. The pump and dump. Look at that reversal on NAS. All right, 27 seconds on gold. If this thing holds, we'll take a tiny little blip. I don't love this trade because it's market open, but whatever. And it's not quite with trend. Well, it actually reminds me. What I say, yes, the prior sell worked. You want to use it doesn't matter. It all goes away anyways. No signal anyways. So we'll leave it alone. So I forgot. Let's always ask ourselves, was the prior sell a winner before we take a sell, right? Don't let me forget that. That's a really, really good rule. Don't let me just pop into trades impulsively. Today I just want to see if we can get that 10 o'clock, 10 to 10:30 set up, hit it, and quit it. Wait, no. Ryan, how is that possible you're not seeing it? Ryan, I'm going to walk you through. We got plenty of time. Watch how you buy accounts at Apex. Very important for everybody to understand how to do this, okay? First, we hit Apex Trader Funding. They're going to ask you, I'm going to log into my personal account, not our corporate account, because you guys know I buy challenges just like you do, because I really want to trade alongside with you guys. So they're going to ask you for, authenticator, which I'm going to give myself right now. Hang on a second. 797-406. 797-406. The first time you log in, they may not ask you for this, but then they'll ask you to authenticate yourself. So now I am here, and now you can choose. I'm gonna tell you to choose wealth charts because that's the cheapest option of all, or the least expensive. And I'm going to suggest the 50K wealth charts. You're going to click on this, right? And here's the very important part. Very important part is when it says enter coupon code, you say BK save. If you do that, you're going to get the absolute best discount. If you don't do that, you're going to get the full price. Then you say, please click next. Right? And do you see the regular price is 167, but you're only paying 33? That's how you buy them. Okay? Let me know if that's clear. And anybody else who's watching, that is how you buy them, and that's how you trade them. Okay, my friends? Now let's see if we got signals. Boom, got it. All right, that's it. I know. You know, I'm convinced that everything in life is just somebody showing you how to do it. Because I sure as hell need that myself. It's amazing how difficult something can be when somebody describes it, and how easy it is when somebody actually shows you. You know? I literally had this, when I was like younger, had this idea of like creating a YouTube channel called How To, whose only function would be like to show you how to do everything, you know, how to drill a nail, how to change your plumbing, how to, you know, set up your garage door opener, just like a million how to make pasta, you know, like just a million fucking how-to things. And I think that would be awesome. I would definitely be the consumer of that channel. Oh, I don't think so, Steven. First of all, I don't ever trade the 5 minute. I don't know the 5 minute. I know you do. I don't think there's any advantage to longer time frame. The key thing is timing, right? Remember, trading is timing. And the whole idea is using our indicator to time it as best as possible. So I think the timing that we have usually is really, really good timing, right? And you just want to be in an environment where that timing has the highest probability of success. So no, I would say, isn't that eHow? Yeah, but like for some reason, like eHow was really, really boring and not like actually showing you step by step. I never remember like eHow being really useful. It was, maybe it's been a long time. Maybe I haven't seen it, but yeah. eHow is like has a very 1990s feel to it, like it was made during AOL era. Okay, maybe we're getting a sell signal in gold. Let's go to what do we got? 1 minute 10. I'll wait till about 30-second countdown, and then we'll go to wealth charts and see if we can make a trade on wealth charts. That's right, Jose. That's right. You pay a lifetime fee, and then you have the account for life, as long as you can maintain the account. That's correct. By the way, if you guys are interested in getting the indicator, which is only available to my coaching clients, to everybody who's in coaching, let me give you the link to coaching. It's 6 months of coaching. You get the indicator and everything else for free. So here we go. We're going to be on the sell side. 19 seconds left. If the dot holds, we're gonna trade it. Dot goes away. Dot goes away. Dot holds. We're gonna wait till the candle closes on this. See how it's teasing it, and because it's teasing, we no trade on gold. Back to the drawing board. Nasdaq flirting around with a 24,000, flirting around with that 24,000. It feels like they want to break it down and then take it back up. So let's see what they want to do. We have U of M coming up at 10, which means that probably, the trades are going to be after the 10 o'clock hour. So we'll see where things go. Did you guys hear that they have a suspect in custody for the Charlie Kirk murder? Be interesting to see if it's really the guy or not really the guy. Love to know. Yeah, Trump said it, not the FBI. I know. That's why I'm always, I'll see it when I believe it. What does lifetime mean? It means that as long as you don't blow up the account, you can trade it. I think. Ask Apex. I think it's pretty obvious what it means. In a sense that you can hold on to that account. As long as you can hold on to that account and not blow it up, you can trade it. Oh, look. So now NAS is starting to get. See how NAS? I love the color coordination because so much of this stuff just really needs to pop out at you. So now NAS is getting, the range in NAS is getting good, right? Now the range is, now we're like at a 30-point range. NAS is it basically tells you NAS is really, really tradable for what we want to do. And gold is kind of quiet. But gold may give us a buy signal here, right? Which will be with trend, which will be hopefully a good trade. Oh, with us guys, do we have a lifetime? Actually, XLB, we do. If you're interested, email me. It's an off the menu item, but I'm happy to sign you up. We are going to be. You're kind of reading my mind. We are going to be offering. I'm going to be offering lifetime access to the tools soon, but I haven't finalized the whole structure of the deal. But we also have like a pure lifetime for everything offer. If you guys are interested, definitely email me. But it's as I said, it's an off the menu item. No, that's not the lifetime deal. No, you bought 6 months plus you bought lifetime support. I think that's what you bought, but that's a 6-month deal. Okay, looky gold. We got on wealth charts. We are 5 seconds to go. 2 and 6 long. All right, so that means we're in at 89.5, 91.1 is a target. Clean, relatively clean. Trend-based trade. Volatility is pretty good. Range is really good. All things proper. Let's see if the trade plays. First trade of the session here. Targeting 91.1. Gold has been really running that 3,700 last 3 days. So it feels like North America really wants to, do we want to run it again? It'll be interesting to see. Do we want to run that level again? We'll see. Yes. Scalping is totally allowed in Apex. Yes. I mean, that's the whole point is, the techniques we teach in coaching are designed for Apex's rules. All right. Gold is consolidating and slipping around. We'll let it play itself out. But we're holding bid. We're positive trend. We're breakout. We'll see how it trades out. I got 15 minutes to the U of M, and we're really looking for that post 10 o'clock one trade to make it rain. So good morning, everybody. Who's new in the room today? I see a few people who are new in the room who kind of joined us. Tell me where you're from. Wow. Today was definitely the most skewed poll I've ever seen in my life. Really interesting. NAS starting to turn itself to the upside. Slope is not quite there, but if the next candle turns the slope green, that's going to give us a signal to the upside. Bobby T from Iran. I did not expect a person from Iran to be called Bobby T, but nice to have you, Bobby. Market is very quiet, but market is very often quiet that 9:30 to 10 o'clock, and then we catch a bid from 10 to 11:30, right? And that's why we're just sort of patiently sitting around, waiting to see what happens. What's my target? I forgot what my target is. It's on 91.1. That's where I'm at. Okay, I'm at 91.1. I was like, where am I on the? We're still. How high did this go? But 90.7. All right, gold traveled up, but not quite there. Let's see if it wants to do that. It's also Friday. That's right. It's Friday. It's kind of chilled. Christopher, you're from Armenia. Are you? What does a purple dot mean again? Purple dot means it's a higher low. It's a low. It's a break to the downside, but coming from a high point of place. So look at that. Gold turns against us now. So we have to grin and bear it. You guys are right. Very little follow through today. Which is all the more reason to kind of chill and wait for that, post 10 o'clock move. Big data next week. We have the FOMC meeting. Kathy is going to have a special webinar for FOMC, and then I'm going to trade FOMC live with you guys. So it'll be a really exciting week. We have a lot on our plate. All right. Gold looks like it died out in front of that. Gold has been we've been talking about the fact that gold has really, really had a hard time breaking to the upside on the move. I'm actually curious. Yeah, last sell was a winner. So if we get a sell signal and we flip around, we'll flip around and we'll take it because the last sell was a winner. So we definitely want to take it. But for now, we got nothing. prices are kind of slowing down. Who traded the afternoon yesterday in NASDAQ? Was that a really, really boring afternoon, right? I'm not out of gold. I'm in trade, it hasn't hit my stop, so there's no reason for me to be out of gold, right? My stop was at 83.5. I have the correct volatility stop for this trade. But if this thing starts turning, it starts flipping the signal, we're going to go to a different account. Matter of fact, I'm going to change accounts now. I'm going to go a different account and trade that to the short side if I get the signal. But so far, I don't. Yeah, it was a grinding shit show. That's the perfect description of YCL. It really was. Just I haven't seen, like, NASDAQ literally traded 20 points for 3 hours, and usually it trades 20 points in 1 minute, right? So it was a really, really boring ass show. 10 minutes to U of M. Let's see if there's anything on the news. Let's see if Twitter has anything of interest for us. Really? The suspect in the murder of Charlie Kirk confessed to his father that he was the shooter. His father told authorities and secured his son until they could arrive to pick him up. Wow. Holy shit. Wow. This is the kid? God, what a moron. God. Ugh. Just a brainwashed kid. Gold's starting to pop up a little bit. Maybe we hold the bid. Secondary pop. NASDAQ slope is turning green, which is like a sign of healthy buying finally. And if it stays green, it might set us up for a buy signal. But the problem is the buy signal is going to be 5 minutes before the news, which really sucks. I hate that, because then we're running right into the news. So we don't really have an opportunity to do this. The shooter is ex-military. Wow. Wow. Ugh, God. Story just gets sadder and sadder. It's a 2060, Dustin. It's a 2060 trade, right? So 20 ticks, target 60 ticks. Remember, so why? Like, why? Because look at the range volatility. Range is 9.5 points. You got to have a big stop in order to survive unnecessary stop outs, right? So that's sort of like interesting. Gold trying to break on through to the other side. Did I tell you guys, my wife dragged me to see The Who, Madison Square Garden 2 weeks ago? It's a really fun concert. I'm still blown away at the fact that both of those guys are 80 and 81, and they had more energy than like most 25-year-olds I know. I was just insane at how good they both were. The voices were great. Guitars was amazing. We're actually working on the Boca show, right? Everybody knows we're working on the Boca show. That's really, it looks like it's going to happen, guys. It's probably going to happen first week of November, but it should be really, really fun. So Kay is putting it together. As soon as we get it all together, I'm going to let you guys know. I guess drugs will do it. Is that the motto? Oh, you were at the MSG for the show. Wasn't that amazing? Like, how great were they, right? Like, I'm just blown away. Like, what is his voice? Is just so. Oh God, I'm losing my mind. Sorry, I'm watching the price action, trying to see if this thing is trying to break out, really teasing us on the gold. But we're staying with a trade. It's in trend. It's slow and laborious and boring, but it is a trade. Yeah, Laura, wasn't Daltrey's voice amazing? The guy's like 80, and he looked great too, by the way. Oh, this is like, I hate these trades. This is the trade before. So we don't have it. We really can't do size on this. So we're going to have to do small size. We're going to do MNQ. Oops, sorry. We're going to go over here. MNQs, small size, 28 seconds left. I'm actually going to do just maybe two size on this. And we're going to use the 10-30 stop target on NASDAQ. And the only reason I'm not taking like a full size trade, because we have news right in front of this, and we have to be very patient. We have to just be mindful of the news. So we're going to just trade the size, see if this hits. 54 is the target, 14 is the stop. Where's my gold position? Gold is still putzing around, not giving us any signals. Yeah, it's definitely the end. Definitely the end for the WHO. All right, 54 on the target. And we have 3 minutes to the news. Yes, trading is very, very addictive. That's why I've been reading a lot of literature on addiction to help us trade well. I'm still long gold. I'm still dicking around in long gold. Yes, we're still putzing around in that gold trade because I got nothing else to do. If I get a short signal, we're gonna go in the other account. But yes, I am still long this trade. It's very annoying. 91.1 is a target. Two minutes to the news. NASDAQ's still very, very choppy. I'm hoping that post 10 o'clock hour, we get a little bit of European flow, and we get some directionality. Gold has a sell signal here, which we're just going to, again, I'm going to take small size in the other account because it is a signal, legit signal. And so we're, we're going to go to the other, I took it in the 14 account. Here it is. That one is 88 with a target of 86.8. And we'll see, I'm basically on both sides of the trade because I'm long in one account, short in the other account because I have two separate signals. And that's the beauty of having a couple of accounts. Hopefully one of them is going to work. But that was, it's been a long drag out trade in gold where it hasn't really done anything for us. We are 30 seconds to the news. Let's take a look at what the, oops, sorry. Here we go. $16 seconds, market looking at 58.2. Let's see what it wants to give us. I wonder why Forex Factory has such a big delay. Let me see if the calendar here has. $55 final. Consumer expectations. Relatively positive. No, sentiment is actually weak. Sentiment is all weak here. It's 55 against 58. Current conditions are still pretty good. Inflation stays anchored. Not a lot of stuff here. But gold is rallying so that our original long on the gold should really hit. We should be able to be hit on the original gold, which is the 11 account, right? Where am I? I'm almost very, very close here on the 11 account. Where am I? I'm at 91.1. It's playing around with it. Let's see if it's going to take me out at 91.1. It teases us and it comes back down. No, news is really not vital to learning the dot strategy because the dot strategy is all about momentum. For us, the news is just simply a catalyst. If we have positive news, then we look for like a positive, buy signal after the news. But really, we don't care about news per se. We only really care about news reaction because we're trading price action, not positional. We're not making a positional bet saying, oh, the news is good, the market goes up. So, we let the market tell us what it's going to do and react accordingly, right? Wow, look how tight the ranges are, guys. Literally, we've been in less than a two-point range on gold and like a 10-point range in NASDAQ with nothing to do. So I wonder if today is going to be just one of those grinding days again. Hopefully not. The next signal now with trend. Again, I'm gonna emphasize with trend. We're going to take. So this NASDAQ that we took before the U of M finally works. That's nice. The that trade works. No, William, the 1 and 2 will not work. I mean, anything will work if you decide how to write it. These are the suggested trades that we do because that's over long run been the success for us. But yeah, it's a very negative risk reward ratio. You got to be accurate a lot. That's why you see me not take a lot of. I'm not taking a lot of trades, right? I'm trying to be selective. All right, so the Nasdaq trade got done, guys, but gold literally still stuck in between the two exits. The long position and the short position. The reason I took the short position was because the prior short was a winner, right? You see this short, we cleared the purple and was down. That's how I determine whether I want to take a short or not. But given the fact that the prior short was really, really far away, you could determine this. Hopefully, this is a secondary buy, but we're already in the position. We don't really need to take a buy candle. But usually, when we get a secondary buy label, that's a good sign that the buy piece of it, right over here, should work for us. Hopefully, this takes us from 89.5 to 91. News affects anything and everything. But I guess in forex, I would say news trading is more. Forex is much more macro focused. Oh, the gold trade finally got done on the long side. That was literally like a half-hour long gold trade, but it finally got done. So so we're good to go on that. And now let's try to see what else we can find as far as the trade goes. What I'm going to do now is, because on the other account still has that small gold trade floating, right? I'm going to and it's coming back down. I'm going to just move my target right over here into it.
Limit order filled.
And just come out flat. Just take that trade flat so it doesn't really hurt me, and reset, because I'm not really interested in being short against the trend right now. I really want to find one quality trend signal and see if we can hit it today. I'm going to talk to Rob today, and we're going to hopefully try to get this done in the next couple of days. Did Keith Moon die? What happened to Keith Moon of The Who? Oh, we use Wealth Charts and TradingView because they're both partners of ours, and because Wealth Charts, is a really, really good platform for trading. It has everything integrated. It has a couple of really good advantages over TradingView, meaning that for example, you could have multiple tabs open, multiple instruments open on the tab. I can place orders right over here off the bar. Whereas in TradingView, I got to preset my orders and do all of that stuff. But TradingView is a little prettier, right? It's really all about that. It's all about, who's so pretty versus who's so functional. So we like them both, and that's why we use them both. That gold trade actually probably would have made you money on both sides, but we made the money on the long side and just kind of broke even on the short side, which is fine. I got to go back to the long side. Oh, yeah, it was dead a long time ago. Yeah. That's what I thought. I was just Googling all the members of the WHO. It's amazing. Amazing how those two guys have survived. All right, so what do we got? Nothing much. Wow, really quiet, right, guys? Just like amazingly dead. You're going to see this range begin to really compress as we go forward. Remember, this was 11 points when we started. It's 7 points. You see how it's compressing downward and declining? That's also pretty valuable to know. Okay, those of you guys who want to join us for free, here's the free community link. I'm going to put this up here. Please join us. Those of you guys who want the coaching and the indicator, here's the link for that. So now you know why we don't trade a lot on Fridays, right? I'm happy to just chill out. Any questions, any answers? Any questions you have, I'm happy to answer them. I don't, I'm happy to answer whatever's on your mind. Oh, I'm getting a Christmas tree to the long side. Good. Let's see if gold wants to run. So let's see if this is really going to be, I'm going to give it a shot. My 10 o'clock trade. Generally, I really want the 10 o'clock trade to be in NASDAQ, but why not? It's Friday. Let's give it a shot. We'll take a bigger shot on gold and see if it works. But it's actually got to stay with a signal. We've been, Stephen, we've been like really testing this 90. And I have a feeling if we can bust above, it's really gonna run, right? So the key thing is, where's the momentum ignition? Right now, we don't have any ignition. All right, long gold. $2 target, $6 stop, 92.1. Let's see if they can take those highs. It's a very slow Friday afternoon, so we're all going to see if this sleepy little move is going to have any value. Yeah, that's correct. You can't do that for what do you call it? Jesus. For funded accounts. So when that rule is designed for people who take the same trade in one direction and the other direction. It's kind of like a hedge trade, and then just hope that one side wins. It doesn't apply to what we do, which is occasionally, very rarely, do we find ourselves with a buy signal and a sell signal, and we distribute those into separate accounts. They really couldn't care less. What they're looking for is somebody who got because they've talked to me a lot about how people try to defraud them. Is what they'll do is they'll get like 100 accounts funded, and in 50 accounts they just burn those accounts, and the other 50 accounts they try to run and gun it and run it to like a very, very high value and try to get a payout. Like that's a clearly manipulative tactic of just bullshit, right? So that's got nothing to do with the kind of like, hey, I'm taking a trade at a time. I have a buy signal here, sell signal here. They don't give a shit. Last night we did do that, but that was for evaluation where they couldn't care less, because they, if you want to take the risk on that and burn your account, they're perfectly okay with it. But on funded accounts, they want you to trade carefully, and they certainly don't want to do the the hedge. Well, we're really running into a brick wall at this 90 level in gold, and we'll just have to see if there's enough ignition here to take us higher. Meantime, sorry guys. Oh God, sorry. Meantime, NAS is starting to drift lower, and the key question is, was the last? This is a really tough answer. Do we claim that the last Christmas tree sell was stopped out, which it kind of was because it broke the spike, but generally the direction actually was correct. I mean, I think looking at this interpretively, you got to say that the red Christmas tree was a legit trade. So if we get a second red trade, we'll take the signal. Oh. No trigger on NAS. And the interesting thing is, if you're watching both NAS and gold, you're seeing that the round number levels, the 24,000 is just holding, right? So the longer the bulls can hold this, if they can reignite buying, we might get a buy signal here, which would be a good buy signal. I'd be happy to take that buy signal as our one and done Friday trade. Oops, never mind. The one and done gold got done. You see that? That was really nice. So the gold got done. And that was really interesting. By the way, I was going to show you that gold is like that. It just sort of and boom. Literally somebody swept that ladder. So why did they sweep that ladder? Because the ladder was at around that 91, 90 level, and they broke through all of those stops. They knew there was a shit ton of stops there. They took them all out, and boom. That's exactly what I was counting on to help us break higher. Now, is gold going to start to run towards 95? It's very likely. Like we could have more continuity to the Steven says you're welcome. Thank you. We could have more continuity to the upside. We'll see if there is enough kind of juice to take gold to the 3,700. But for our purposes, in terms of doing that one and done, we got it done. We may have. We certainly may have another opportunity here in NAS if it lines up, because we're holding the 24,000. If they can just build enough momentum, they're going to try and run this thing higher, because the shorts are all short over here, and they know they want to take out those stops if they can run them. So right now we have the first candle set up for the NAS. Let's see if if we can get a secondary move over here for that. Oh my God. I woke up this morning with all the sniffles for the fall season. And now I'm just miserable. Okay, so white dot in place. We're looking for the green dot to see if we can get a little bit of momentum ignition, take it through that 2450. And we'll get long the the NAS, we have to trade NAS with a 2040. Oh, this is micros. So let's go to the big one. Let's go to the big contract on NAS, and let's see if that's, and that's got to be traded with a 1030 structure. Let's see if that works out. Anybody take the gold with me? Anybody take that gold trade with me? Anybody bank on that? Billionaire says it's going to the moon. Jim took it. Very nice. Miguel took it. Keith took it. Good job. Everybody in trading took it. Nice. Nice. Good job. Good job on you. Now we just want to see if NAS is going to be a possibility for us. Okay, setting up. All right, long NAS, 63 is the target, 23 is the stop. And we have the ambulance sirens in the background. Very apropos. Man, you hear it? It's coming close. Gloria, would you take it from? Oh, from the earlier trade, the earlier buy signal. All right, 63.75. Are we there? I'm going to take it here, guys. Close enough for government work. Last trade of the day, and actually we hit target. We go through 66, and that's actually like, this is what I'm talking about. You do one trade after 10 o'clock. Boom, you're done. You're ready for retirement. Time to go to the golf course, right? If you want. Anyways, fun trading. We hit the trades today. We hung with every single trade. We took our shots, and I hope like everybody who's around can take that approach as well. Like one and done, the post 10 o'clock trade. But what I definitely want to do is the market on close trade with you guys a couple of times next week, hopefully along with the FOMC trade and everything else. It's going to be a lot of fun trading. Anyways, good week this week for everybody. We got funded in one account. We did the right trades. The volatility tapestry, or whatever the fuck we want to call this, is really, really nice. And I think at this point the tool is all good to go. I'm going to try and get Rob to finalize it for wealth charts, and then ready to go. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Everybody enjoy. So Ryan says it was a crazy roller coaster day. The thing is, you see, we avoided the puke jobs, right? We just took the rides. So that was the key part. Oh, look at this. XLB. She says first day in the green for the week. Nice. That's a good sign. Micheline, great to be here always. Thank you, everybody. Enjoy. Come back on Monday. We're gonna have a fun time. On Monday, I will tell you this Monday special sort of a event. We're gonna try and trade CFD tools, and I'm gonna disclose a lot of the MT5 stuff that we've done, because we haven't had a chance to really show you all the stuff that I've done for ACAP, and hopefully you guys will enjoy that as well. But as far as all of this, it's in the can. Now it's going to well charts, and then everybody go out there. So my last thing, make sure you get the Apex accounts. And if anybody wants my coaching, go out there and get the coaching. Okay. I'd love to have you on board. Thank you so much, guys. Everybody enjoy. Take care. I'll see you next week. Enjoy the weekend.